Hello and welcome to Sean White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast. Today we are talking to some good friends of mine. We have Madam Me here. Madam Me, how long have we known each other?
18 years with each other.
Yeah, and where did we meet first?
We meet first 2006 during the Long Beach SPI Expo.
That's totally awesome. And then, so some of you might not know Madam Me, but really I think she should be the most famous person in the solar and renewable energy industry. She put together a trade show called SNEC. And SNEC is by far the world's largest solar trade show. I think that it's probably bigger than every other solar show in the world put together all at one time. Maybe even like if you put 10 years of SPIs together, it's probably not even as big as SNEC. Like how many people go to SNEC?
It's 500,000.
Okay.
500,000 people. That's like 500,000 people. So that's pretty impressive, Madam Me. And Madam Me and we're good friends. Madam Me has a house near mine and we go out to dinner and things like that. And Madam Me's daughter is Jenny. So introduce yourself, Jenny.
Hello, everyone. It's good to be on Sean's podcast today. It's great to be here and meeting everyone. My name's Jenny. I'm Madam Me's daughter. I'm currently in charge of SNEC's marketing side. We are building new programs for the renewable energy storage this year, and we welcome everybody to join for the coming years to SNEC ES Plus next year in September.
So it's coming up just right around the corner, right? Like what are the dates?
The date is from September 25th to September 27th this year, and we have it as the original venue in Pudong area.
And that's like Pudong is right across the river from Shanghai. So to a lot of us, that just means Shanghai.
To a lot of us. Okay.
For us that are not locals in Shanghai. And Shanghai is a beautiful place, and it's got a nice river there and a great skyline. And I know that I've been going to the SNEC events for a long time too. And they're like really fun and like great group of people and great banquets and things like that too.
Yeah, there's certainly a lot of things to explore for the city. There's so many things you can do after the events. We even have boat tours in the previous editions for, this event. But now currently we're not doing boat tours right now.
Yeah, I remember one time like we got on buses and we went to the Pearl, which is that round thing that's on the skyline that you see in all the Shanghai pictures. That was quite a while ago, but that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the very famous skyline of Shanghai, which is very fascinating for many, many tourists and also people around the world.
So come to Shanghai. And so what we're going to talk about is this energy storage conference. And so this is the first one that's not a solar conference. It's just for energy storage and hydrogen.
Yes, this one is solely just for the topic of energy storage and hydrogen. We are not necessarily excluding solar, but solar as a part of, the system as a whole to how to build a renewable energy electric system designed for the entire country. How do we do the system for the city with the renewable energy sources like hydrogen and energy storage systems.
Mm-hmm. And is this going to be at the same conference center as the SNEC that has the solar PV that's the really big one with 500,000 people?
No, we're not really in the same place this year. So we are located with our original venue before. So there's two venues. For the SNEC this year, we relocate to another area, but for the SNEC ES, the energy storage one, we are still in the venue we did in the previous years.
So in the big conference center is called SNEIC or something like that?
Yes, the big conference center is called SNEIC in Pudong. So the other one is in Hongqiao, which is the National Convention Center that they newly built in Shanghai. So it's two different places. We want to make sure for the energy storage, we want everyone goes to the original venue, which is SNEIC.
Oh, so this is going to be at SNEIC, and the last SNEC, which I didn't make it to, was at this new place then?
Yes.
Okay, it's like in Shanghai, so on the Shanghai side of the river.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I didn't realize that. And it could fit 500,000 people in this new conference center?
Yes, it's huge. I mean, it has 17 halls and then...
70 halls?
17.
Oh, 17. Okay, so I remember that the SNEIC one that I've been to for like historically, I thought that had 17 halls. So it's the same number of halls?
No, the new one has bigger halls.
Oh, bigger halls.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like the size of 10 RE pluses. And by the way, we are at RE plus right now. We're in a hotel room at RE plus in the Hilton with a view of Disneyland in the background. And we went to a nice block party last night and it was really fun. Got to see a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so energy storage is really taking off. And some of the things that you and Madam E wanted to talk about were about bringing people over to learn about energy storage, to come to the conference. People that are in the energy storage business in the US could learn things by going to this show that's coming up. So we're going to release this podcast right away, immediately too, so we could get the word out so people could come over to Shanghai and Pudong. You know, to me, it's the same city pretty much. I guess it's sort of like when some people say San Francisco when they're going to Oakland or something like that, you know, and it's even closer than that. It's just right across the river. And so what are some of the benefits of bringing people to the conference?
So, like China right now has the most advanced technology in producing batteries, in producing, energy storage. They have over 10,000 companies doing energy storage along the south coastline of China in the Shenzhen, Guangdong area. So we have the entire supply chain there that we offer the opportunity for overseas people to see the entire production of energy storage system. How do they make the batteries? From the side of BYD, they do the upstream side of producing the lithium battery part, and then the downstream where they do the pack system, they do the entire system, put it together into the container of the system. And then you have the chance to meet with the manufacturer of the equipment for producing the energy storage. You have the opportunity to see everything from scratch to the completion of energy storage, and we will share like a lot of great things about energy storage in the future, how AI is impacting energy storage, how we are using renewable energy to shape the future, to power up to meet the climate goals together. There are a lot of topics that we want to discuss with people in the industry, and we also want people to come to the event to be engaged, to learn. And there's of course a lot of needs from the United States, from all over the world. They want to try to set up the manufacturing here, and they
here in the U.S.
Here in the U.S. Yeah. So there's a lot of chance. We have workshop there that help people to learn more about how to do manufacturing,
like how to build a factory, which is really important.
Yes, we will have people sharing about the experience they have for how to manage the plant, how to build a factory, and then this is a critical program that we are building, also helping others to, be more skilled. As also here in the U.S. And many other countries, there's certain needs for be good at not just the system, but be good at manufacturing right now.
Awesome. So I know that there's like a special offer, I think it is, for people to come over, and even like a zone and having some booth space and things like that. Maybe you could explain that, and even how much it is and what it takes.
So for the special zone, so we've set up an area in the show floor where we have all the international buyer groups coming over who wants to buy energy storage from companies who have interest in, or EPC companies, anyone that's interested in, having a conversation with the exhibitors on the show floor. We have area for networking, for one-to-one matchmaking. In that area, you can directly talk to the supplier or to the exhibitors that you are interested in, and to learn more about their products, learn more about what they do, how they do it, how you want to collaborate with each other if you want to develop your venture together.
And so you're giving people booth space, I guess it is?
Yes, we give people a small booth space. In the front, they have a booth. They can set up their area in that booth. So there's a public area for talking, talking with the exhibitors. This is free.
So to go to like the exhibition is free.
Some special booths, we offer some discounts for the booths, but like currently, if you still need a booth, you can contact us. We can offer you a very good deal on this.
Great, yeah. And I think there was something specially for trying to get Americans to come over and have like a small little bit of space in a certain area. How much was that and what was that?
It's 4x4. So the booth area is basically, it's like 50 square feet.
50 square feet. Okay.
Yeah, like half of the size of the SPI booth, where we don't charge you money for that. It's only the construction of like the booth cost where you will have to cover, which is around $1,580 US, and that will be everything you need to come. And then on the other side, we have a huge area just for talking.
Okay, great. So it's like a special way for people, it's geared towards Americans to come over, learn how to do batteries, promote your company. You can have your own space for just something around $1,500. And you said at first it was 4x4, I think that was square meters.
Yeah, 4x4 square
And then you
meters.
converted that to square feet, was like 50?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's just like a little place that you could call your own home base and bring your company, and you can figure out how to make your own energy storage manufacturing plant. And that's very relevant with the Inflation Reduction Act. And people are trying to build battery factories. Do you have any idea too, like how long it takes before you're up and running building a battery factory?
So if you want to maybe buy the equipment, and then from the setup to the completion, it's around 3 months or so to be able to, just make sure the equipment is running, and then everything is all automatic. Once you buy, there's a lot of things that you have to do, but honestly, it's not too long, from my understanding.
So like you could set up a battery factory, and this is like, they do things a lot faster in China because we need building permits and all that stuff. But it's possible, there's different states too where there's different rules and regulations. And so that would be like pretty fast to build a battery factory in about 3 months. And I guess also too, they would still have to source the materials that go into the batteries and things like that. And
that takes more time.
Yeah, and of course too, people could learn about that when they go to the SNEC Energy Storage Conference.
Of course.
Yeah, so it's pretty exciting. And also, how many of these SNEC Energy Storage Conferences have you had?
We have been doing this for past 9 years, but for the first 7 edition, we have it in the SNEC. This is
in the solar conference.
In the solar conference. This is the first time that we are taking this out as itself independently to just focus on more of the energy storage and hydrogen side instead of the solar side, which is also blooming and very important for the transition into renewable future.
Great.
This is the second time we are running this independently by itself. We also have 6 halls. It's as big as the event here. I'm sure it will
as
be
big as RE Plus,
Yes.
just for energy storage.
just for energy storage.
Yeah.
As big as the event here. And
Or bigger, perhaps, maybe? I don't know. You never know.
yeah, I think it can be bigger. I'm not sure. I haven't really compared the stats, but I think it has 6 halls. So in the SNEIC Convention Center, we will gladly to share more about the details of the location later with everyone who wants to come. And there will definitely be more options for, the companies available there. Like there will be so many more companies that's doing energy storage, and they are doing a great job at what they do. And I mean, this is very, very competitive. The market is very competitive in China right now. There's so many companies doing great at this. You have so many options for choosing whichever products that suit your needs best.
Great. And I know with the other SNEC conferences that I've been to that have to do with, mainly solar, but I know, of course, it's evolved into energy storage. You have the smartest people in the world that know how to manufacture this stuff. And so there's like, for example, Martin Green. He's always at SNEC, and he probably is the top scientist at learning how, or knowing how to make efficient solar cells. He helped start SunTech. He's an Australian guy from the University of New South Wales in Australia. And Madam Me helped promote him and even make him more famous. And she's even helped promote me too, and I've won some awards at SNEC, so thanks again, Madam E. And she is talking, but sometimes she's speaking in Chinese, and so Jenny is doing some translating here too. But she does speak English a lot better than when I first met her, which was quite a while ago, and much better than my Chinese language skills. And so it's pretty exciting with the energy storage conference and all that kind of stuff. And I was also thinking that we could talk to people. Well, let's just remind people, when does it start? What's the first day of the conference?
September 25th this month, actually.
So
is coming
September
right up.
25th, it's just right around the corner.
And this conference starts at September 24th.
Oh, excuse me. So it starts at September 24th.
So the conference starts at September 24th, and the exhibition officially starts at September 25th through September 27th this month.
So it starts on the 24th is the conference, and so that's where you learn things from all the smart people. And I'm sure that you have probably the smartest scientist in the world about energy storage there.
Yeah, we've gathered a lot of industry professionals, university professors. They will share their findings, their research. They will share a lot of topics that we all care as a whole about. How do we power the future with energy storage, how energy storage is going to change the electric system in China or in other places. More and more topic to discuss. You can talk to them if you have anything, you are working in this field, and I'm sure it will be a great networking opportunity.
And I'm sure that some of these scientists that you have, they're not just from China. They're like people from the top universities in the United States, the professors in Europe, and all around the world.
Yeah, we work with universities in Europe, in Singapore University, and also in Japan. We communicate with a lot of the association, nonprofit organizations around the world to build up the program that we have currently. That will not just be people from the professors in China, there will also be professors, also be industry professionals, CTOs from big companies. They will share their thoughts and they will speak about their topics.
We interrupt you for a very important announcement. Shaun White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast has been brought to you by Shaun White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast. That's right, Shaun White is sponsoring his own podcast, and he wants to remind you to go check out some of his classes. You can go to SolarSean, that's solar, SEAN.com, and then click on the links to check out his classes. You can check out his heat spring classes, and you can also hire him to teach classes for you, like at your company, something like that. Now back to the show. So where do people go on the internet? I guess the easiest way is to just do a Google search and go like SNEC, that's SNEC. And I think that stands for Shanghai New Energy Corporation. Is that?
No, it's Shanghai New Energy Conference.
Oh, Shanghai New Energy Conference. So SNEC, Shanghai New Energy Conference. But everybody just knows it as SNEC. Because you can say it. It's like it's a word and things like that. And it is actually in English. And
easy to remember for people.
Yeah, SNEC. Yep. And Madam E, I'm sure, came up with SNEC. She has lots of different organizations too, what APVIA and many different organizations that have all these different letters. She probably has like 100 different letters worth of organizations. And so to find out about it, is there like a certain website or where people?
Just go search SNEC ES. I think the Google will give you the results.
Yeah, so just do a search for SNEC ES, and we'll also have the link in the show notes where people could find all this stuff out. And it'll be pretty exciting. And it's a lot different than your American type of conference, like our exhibition too. Like conference also with all the technical people, but giving their presentations. And then the exhibition is the part where you just go to all the booths and stuff. And all the booths are like geared totally different from the US. A lot of times the US, of course, is trying to install this stuff, and they're trying to develop projects, and they're showing trackers and all these different things. But there, I remember at the solar show, like there's people selling silver paste to make the solar cells. And it's all like people selling manufacturing lines and things like that. In fact, just recently, Madam E was just telling me that she's helping look for somebody that wants to buy a solar manufacturing line. So all you need is 20,000 square meters, and you are in the business of manufacturing solar. And so what they do is they bring in what they call a line. And so a line is like you put stuff in it, and out the other end comes a solar module. And so out of curiosity, and I don't know if it's easy to answer this question, but like about how much would something like that cost? And I guess like there's the price for the equipment, but then there's also the price for setting it up, the price for the space to put it. And I know too, a lot of people like to go to places where there's less taxes and things like that. And that's why a lot of, they say the red states are doing a lot of the green work, especially with as far as manufacturing goes.
I mean, the cost in China might be different from the cost in the States. So from Madam Mee's words, the investment in China compared to the US, the investment in US is about 3 times more than the investment in China.
Like, so to build a solar factory, it costs about
Yes.
3 times more, but then we have the Inflation Reduction Act. Woohoo! So that makes it doable, but of course, like some of those extra costs would have to do with things like labor and environmental regulations for setting things up and the permitting process. Everybody loves to like have lots of paperwork when they're going to build a factory. So anyway, Madam Me also knows all of the important people in the industry. So all the renewable energy CEOs and things like that. I've met a lot of these people through Madam Me that are some of the most successful people in the world all at once, including Madam Me, one of my most successful friend in the world, after putting on this big conference. And so one thing that is always fascinates me too is like the history of things. Like, so the history of SNEC. What year was the first SNEC?
2007.
So 2007. And I remember somebody was telling me like at the first SNEC, it was just a small thing and people were like doing things on the sidewalk even or something like that. I don't remember.
First time SNEC just 150 company joined SNEC, but now we already have 3,600 company join, and the square meter 15,000 square meter from first time 15,000 square meter until now we have 400,000 square meter.
400,000 square meters. That's some space. That's like, I don't know, we'll have to do some conversions to football fields or something like that. But last time I've been to SNEC in person was like in 2019 before COVID. And it was like, I put on my pedometer or, my phone. And I was like, I just went out there and just tried to walk through each hall. And it was like miles. And this place, like in between all these halls at the SNEIC, you could like land an airplane. I mean, easily, I guess it depends on how big the airplane is. You're probably not going to land too many fighter jets there. I don't know, maybe, but but it's just huge beyond what you could imagine. Is there any conferences that are bigger than SNEC, like for any industry?
Exhibition, maybe we largest in the world. Conference, we also very big, but I know who bigger than us.
Yeah, it's really impressive to see Madam Me go from just like a few hundred people. And I remember at that time too, or like in the earlier days, I was going to different conferences in China and Shanghai and Nanjing and Beijing and things like that. And it seemed like it was like early in the industry. And there was like all these solar conferences. Like I met a guy, my friend there, Nick, who was working for Photon magazine at the time. And he took me from this conference to that conference. Like we could just continuously go to all these small solar conferences. And then Madam Me won the game because she's the best business person in the world. And she went from this like putting on this little small conference to like having the biggest conference in the world pretty much as far as I'm concerned. So it's pretty amazing to see somebody like that is so good at business like Madam Me. And always thinking of business. I remember we went horseback riding where I grew up, and we have some horses. And Madam Me's up on a horse, and she's like going, "Oh, we should build a solar farm there." So just always thinking of business. And so I think there's a lot that I try to learn from Madam Me about business. And I'm always trying to think of like how to grow my business. That's like one of the biggest reasons that businesses fail is they don't know how to grow, and they invest their money in the wrong place. They put their resources in the wrong place. They micromanage when they need to learn how to do different types of management and things like that. And a lot of people can't do it, and they take on more than they can handle, and they go crazy and stuff like that. And so I'm just trying to learn myself how to grow my own business. And I can ask Madam Me that some of her tricks on how to do it right. Another thing, so we've seen how SNEC has grown from small into big. And so let's talk a little bit about too, When is the next big SNEC solar conference, which also includes energy storage? When is that one going to be?
It's gonna be next year, June.
Next June in 2025.
For the biggest SNEC solar event next year, it will be starting June 11th till June 14th.
June 11th to 14th. So let's put that on our calendars too. And just to go there, it's like, even if you just want to be a tourist and go see the biggest conference in the world. And when I say conference, I also mean exhibition. So the conference is the scientific part, but to go into the exhibition and see all the booths, it doesn't cost anything, right?
No, you have to get registered online and then you will be free to go.
Yeah, and so I've been to that many times, and I just go there and it's for free. You could go that, and you could go on a nice vacation. You could see how things work in different parts of the world, be open-minded about it. And then you could bring all that information back, bring it to the U.S., use the Inflation Reduction Act as part of growing your business and making the energy storage products and solar project products and all that. And so we're talking about the whole manufacturing, putting the things together that are mined, wrapping those up together, and then turning them into the final products, combining together different. It's kind of amazing too, just like people are digging rocks, they're pulling things out of the earth, and then they just wrap it up, and all of a sudden it becomes an energy storage system with an inverter that connects to the internet. And so you want to learn how to do that, talk to these people. So is there anything else that we should talk about or cover?
Okay, so Madam Me wants to end on a high note that energy storage has as big of a potential as the solar right now. It is blooming, it is trending, it is going up. And if you come to the event, the SNEC ES event in Shanghai, you will get to meet more companies than you can see on RE Plus floor, much more. It's just a fraction of them come here, obviously. So if you want to meet the energy storage entirely, please do go to SNEC ES Plus at this September 25th.
Great, also. And then also, like, speaking of RE Plus and SNEC, there's a good relationship there.
Yes.
They've been partners. In fact, Jenny, you even worked for RE Plus. Was it called RE Plus then, or was that back when it was SPI?
Yeah, I worked there during their transition from SPI to RE Plus. And yeah, we do have a partnership also in Mexico. We do joint programs together. We maintain a very nice relationship with each other. We obviously, through Madam Me, also have very good ties with everyone else.
Okay, great. Well, it's been so nice talking to you, Madam Me, and also talking to you, Jenny Tong. And also, just in here in this room, we also have Peter, who I hang out with when I'm hanging out with Madam Me. And we have Amy, and we also have Oscar here in the room, and we're all good friends. We went to the big party together last night. It was over at the Angels Ballpark at RE Plus. So we'll see you at the Energy Storage Conference, and that's going to be
September 24th till September 27th.
September 24th to September 27th. And when I say conference, I mean conference and exhibition, where it's going to be huge over there in Shanghai, where it's beautiful time of the year to be there. And then also for the biggest conference in the world, as far as I'm concerned, the big SNEC that includes solar and energy storage and everything else. And I know energy storage includes hydrogen for you, and that is going to be
June 11th till June 14th.
June 11th to June 14th. So be there. You have to be there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, everyone, and thanks for listening to Sean White's Solar and Energy Storage Podcast. And if you want to find out how to understand all of this stuff, go check out my classes. Go to Solar SEAN, and that's solarshawn.com. Woo!